Namaste devotees and Jai Sita Ram. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to our Sunday morning satsang this beautiful June 13th, 2021. As always, devotees, before we commence with our service for today, I ask that we all join together as we sing this very beautiful bhajan before we commence with our service. स्वागत सब जन इस मंदिर हो, भक्ति की स्वाति की धार, सुंदर सुमधुर गान हमारो, रंजन सब नर नार, विश सगुण निर्गुण विनाशी, मात पिता रुयार, ईश सगुण निर्गुण विनाशी, मात पिता रुयार, तोर माए अमवास्त सदाही, तोर भाई अमवास्त सदाही, तार हमें संसार। स्वागत संभजन इस मंदिर हो, भक्ति की स्वाति की धार, सुंदर सुमधुर गान हमारो, रंजन सब नर नार, सनातन धर्म राम राम भावे, वेद प्रकाश लिखार, सनातन धर्म राम राम भावे, वेद प्रकाश लिखार, कंद पखंड होतल कावे, कंद पखंड होतल कावे, ज्ञान जगत उजियार। स्वागत संभजन इस मंदिर हो, भक्ति की स्वाति की धार, सुंदर सुमधुर गान हमारो, रंजन सब नर नार, तीर्थ भाया गोद लगावे, पुण्य या पारिसार, तीर्थ भाया गोद लगावे, पुण्य या पारिसार, संगति संतन नीम चलावे, संगति संतन नीम चलावे, शोभन सब व्यवहार। स्वागत संभजन इस मंदिर हो, भक्ति की स्वाति की धार, सुंदर सुमधुर गान हमार, रंजन सब नर नार, रंजन सब नर नार, रंजन सब नर नार। At this time, devotees, I ask that you all join together with me as you clasp your hands and close your eyes. While you're sitting in a very relaxed and comfortable position, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, relax your spine, relax your shoulders, relax your neck and your forehead. At this time, devotees, take some time to focus on a form of Bhagwan that is most pleasing to you, one that helps you concentrate, one that helps you focus, and join together with me as we chant these opening prayers. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnata Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamaraya Purnamevavashishyate Ishavasyam Niram Sarvam Yatkincha Jagatyam Jam Tena Tyaktina Bhunjeta Magrudhakasya Subhanam Om Sahanavavatu Sahanam Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahe Hari Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. As we continue with our prayers, devotees, I ask that we join together now as we offer obediences and chanting the most powerful mantra in this universe as we offer prayers and chant the Gayatri mantra. Om Manakshe Devi Akshare Brahmavadini Gayatri Jagat Matar Vishwayoni Namostute Om Bhuri Bhuvasva Tatsavitur Bharenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat Om Bhuri Bhuvasva Tatsavitur Bharenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat Om Bhuri Bhuvasva Tatsavitur Bharenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Hari Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Prem Gayatri Mata Ki Jai. As we continue on with our prayers, devotees, we offer obediences to that remover and destroyer of all obstacles in our life. We offer prayers to Lord Ganesh. Om Shri Ganapate Namaha. Om Jananam Bhutam Ghanadhin Sevitam Kapita Jambu Palacharam Bhakshanam Masutam Shoka Vinashakarakam Namami Viganeshwara Pada Pankajam Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirviganam Kurumi Niva Sarvakari Shusarvada Om Raksha Raksha Ganadaksha Rakshatre Lokya Rakshakar Bhaktanam Bhayam Karita Trata Bhava Bhavalanavar Om Shriman Mahaganadipate Namam Prem Ganesh Bhagwane Ki Jai. As we continue on with our prayers, devotees, we offer obediences to that universal mother and that destroyer of all evils in our life and in this universe. We offer prayers to Adi Shakti Durga Mata. Om Mahadurgaye Namaha. Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhandra Kali Kapalini Durga Kshama Shiva Dhatra Swaha Swata Namostute Jetvam Devi Chamunde Jai Putardeni Hardini Jai Sarvagate Devi Kalaratri Namostute Devi Sarvabhuteshu Vishnu Mayeti Shamdita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Buddhi Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Lakshmi Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shraddha Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shanti Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Tushni Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Daya Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. As we pray to Mother Durga, devotees will say, O Durga Mata, Thou art the supporter of all, and we, your children, worship you in your many forms. O Ma, we see you as Buddhi, wisdom, Lakshmi, prosperity, Shakti, energy, Shraddha, faith, Shanti, peace, Tushti, contentment, Daya, compassion. And as we pray to you, O Ma, we state Namastasye, 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 Namo Namaha. As we pray to you, O Ma, we bow to thee again and again. Devotees, we offer praise to Mother Durga in the form of the Universal Mother, Matri Rupe. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Matri Rupen Samstita Namastasye, 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 Namo Namah Dehi Saubhagyam Arogyam Dehi Me Paramam Sukham Rupam Dehi Jayam Dehi Yeshu Dehi Dvashojahi Om Prem Samurvari Shakti Durga Mata Ki Jai. As we continue on with our prayers for today, devotees, I ask that we join together in offering prayers to the most influential beings in our life and in this universe, as we offer prayers to the Navgraha Devata. Om Navgraha Devataye Namaha. Brahma Murari Tripurari Bhanushi Sudo Bodhascha Guruscha Shukraha Shanirahu Ketu Sarve Graha Shanti Kara Bhavantu Sarve Graha Shanti Kara Bhavantu. As we continue on with our prayers to the Navgraha Devata, we offer prayers to that being that exists in the form of the sun, that being that sustains all life on this planet. We offer prayers to the sun god, also known as Surya Narayan Baba. Om Suryaya Namah, 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 Suryaya Namah. Anineva Namastubhyam Prasiddham Mama Bhashkaram Divakare Namastubhyam Prabhakare Namostute Suryaya Namah, Suryaya Namah, Suryaya Namah, Suryaya Namah. Om Prem Samuro Navgraha Devata Ki Jai. Prem Samuro Surya Narayana Bhagavan Ki Jai. As we continue, devotees, we offer prayers to that sustainer of all things dharmic and all things righteous in this universe. We offer prayers to Lord Vishnu. Om Shri Vishnu Namaha. Om Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gagana Sadrisham Meghavarnam Shubhagam Om Lakshmi Katam Kamalanayanam Yogi Bhira Dhyanagam Vande Vishnu Bhavamaya Haram Sarvaloke Kanatam Om Sashankha Chakram Sakiretha Kundhalam Sapita Vastram Sarasirurekshanam Sahara Vakshastarashubhi Kaustubha Shriyam Namami Vishnu Shirasa Chaturabhujam Namami Vishnu Shirasa Chaturabhujam. Prem Samuro Vishnu Bhagwan Ki Jai. And finally, devotees, we offer prayers to that universal Father and that universal Guru. We offer prayers to that destroyer of all evils in our life and in this universe. We join together as we offer prayers to Lord Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Karpurang Ghoram Chandraharam Sudam Vasantam Hirdayardam Vinde Bhavam Bhuvani Sahitam Namam Bhavam Bhuvani Sahitam Namam Shiva Hare Shiva Rama Sakye Prem Trivadatha Panivaranahi Vibhu Ajajanishwari Adav Pahi Mam Shiva Hare Vijayam Guru Mevaram Kamala Lochana Ramadayani Aramuru Vajarakshaka Opati Shiva Tanu Bhava Shankara Pahi Mam Shiva Hare Vijayam Guru Mevaram Swanaranjana Mangala Mandiram Majatite Purusha Paramam Param Bhavati Tasya Sukam Paramadbhutam Shiva Hare Vijayam Guru Mevaram Jaya Yudhishthiravala Mahupate Jaya Jaya Rajicha Punya Payonidhi Jaya Kripamaya Krishna Namuspute Shiva Hare Vijayam Guru Mevaram Bhava Vimochana Madhava Mapati Sukha Vimana Sahansa Shiva Rati Janaka Jarata Raghava Rakshamam Shiva Hare Vijayam Guru Mevaram Avani Mandala Mangala Mapati Janadha Sundara Rama Ramapati Nikhama Kirti Gunarnava Bhupati Shiva Hare Vijayam Guru Mevaram Patita Pavana Nama Mailata Tava Yasho Vimalam Pringhiyate Harapi Madhavam Kimupakshate Shiva Hare Vijayam Guru Mevaram Amarata Paradevara Mapate Vijayatastava Nama Ghanupama Maikatam Karunaranavajayate Shiva Hare Vijayam Guru Mevaram Hanumatam Priya Tapakaram Prabhu Surasatadhita Sikaraivu Manavibhava Kim Vismaranam Kritam Shiva Hare Vijayam Guru Mevaram Narahari Ratiranjana Sundharam Patatiya Shiva Rama Vatastavam Vishati Rama Ramacharananam Bhuje Shiva Hare Vijayam Guru Mevaram Shiva Hare Vijayam Guru Mevaram Shiva Hare Vijayam Guru Mevaram. We offer this next prayer, devotees, for all those suffering from various illnesses, diseases, injuries, and ailments. We ask that they have a fast, speedy, and full recovery. We also offer prayer for those transitioning from this world to the next. May the passage be smooth and tranquil. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Subhandhim Pushmivardhanam Urvarukamiva Vandanatam Mrityuramukshiyo Mamrutat Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Subhandhim Pushmivardhanam Urvarukamiva Vandanatam Mrityuramukshiyo Mamrutat Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Subhandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Vandanatam Mrityuramukshiyo Mamrutat Om Gangaravate Namaha Om Kartiki Namaha Om Nandishwarai Namaha Om Vasuki Namaha Om Shri Samba Sadha Shivaya Namaha Prem Swara Shiva Shankara Bhagavane Ki Jai. Before we continue on with any other things for today, devotees, I want to thank again Uncle Walter and Auntie Sarani for recording and sending in a song that Uncle Walter has decided to record and sing for us today for our virtual Sunday morning satsang. So I'll now move over to that, and once we're completed, we'll move on to our sermon for today.
सुमिरत सिद्धि होय, यही सुमिरत सिद्धि होय। गणनायक करी बदन, करऊ अनुग्रह ऐसो, करऊ अनुग्रह ऐसो। श्री राम जय राम जय जय रामा, श्री राम जय जय रामा, श्री राम जय जय रामा, श्री राम जय जय रामा। सागर शिव हिनायब माता, पढ़नौ बिसजी काम गुण दाता। सागर शिव हिनायब माता, पढ़नौ बिसजी काम गुण दाता। श्री राम जय जय रामा, श्री राम जय जय रामा। संपद सोरहि सरिक दीसा, करऊ कथा हरि बद हर सीसा। श्री राम जय जय रामा, श्री राम जय जय रामा। श्री राम जय जय रामा, श्री राम जय जय रामा। बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम, 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 बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम। जन्म सफल पुकारे बंदे, मन में राम बसाले, मन में राम बसाले। बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम, बोलो राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम।
Again, I'd like to thank Uncle Walter and Auntie Sarani for recording that very beautiful bhajan and sending it in. Devotees, for anybody else who'd like to record a song or just say a few words of encouragement, all you have to do is pull out your iPhone. You can open up the voice memo app, record directly on there, and you just email it to me. You can either call me and ask me for my personal email, or you can email it to the address. I've got to look at the screen to see where it is. The address that's right down here, and where are my hands? In this area right here. Shiv Shakti Mandir GA@gmail.com. Again, that's Shiv Shakti Mandir GA@gmail.com. But again, to Uncle Walter and Auntie Sarani, thank you for your continued support, and thank you for recording these very beautiful songs and sending them in every single week. Devotees, before we continue on with our sermon for today, for those of us who have a guru, we offer a prayer to our guru. If not, we take Lord Shiva in our mind, or any day where you so choose to be a universal guru, as we join together in prayer. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Om Dhyana Moolam Guru Murati Puja Moolam Guru Param Mantra Moolam Guru Bhakyam Moksha Moolam Guru Kripar Prem se Guru Guru Dev Ki Jai. Shri Krishna Sharanam Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri 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 Krishna Sharanam Mama. Devotees, last week when we had met, we continued and concluded with chapter 15 of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in which Bhagavan Shri Krishna tells Arjuna that yoga of the Supreme Person. Who is the Supreme Person? What is the Supreme Person? How can you attain the Supreme Person? We ended on verses 19 and 20, which Bhagavan Shri Krishna tells Arjuna, whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, without doubting, is the knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharat. This is the most confidential part of the Vedic scriptures, O sinless one, and it is disclosed now by me. Whoever understands this will become wise, and his endeavors will know perfection. So we have to know that Bhagavan is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan Shri Krishna, Bhagavan Vishnu, and we have to not doubt that. We have not to doubt Bhagavan and everything that Bhagavan has and everything that Bhagavan provides and tells us in our daily lives. But now we move on to the next chapter. Chapter 16 of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And we're approaching a close, devotees, because there's only 8 chapters in total of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 16, which is where we're at now, 1-6, describes the divine and the demonic natures. We talked about gunas, sattva guna, tama guna, raja guna. But this talks about specifically two things. Who are divine people and who are demonic people? And before I start this chapter, it's very important for you to understand that as we've gone through the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Shri Krishna has touched on specific details of those who have demonic nature, those who are not really dharmic in a sense. He's gone over that time and time again. Now, I want you to understand, and I'll see this every once in a while, and you'll see this in movies too. It's like something is happening with the main character or the main character's friends or family or whatever, and the main character's a little mischievous. So somebody will say, you shouldn't do that. Did somebody say you could do that? And they'll look at the person and say, that person didn't tell me I could not do that. And so what this chapter really is covering is any loophole that may exist in our minds as to, how we could act. Because Bhagavan Shri Krishna didn't say it doesn't mean we shouldn't act that way, or we should act that way. He's going into specific detail about the natures of those who are, again, divine and those who are demonic. So at the very beginning of chapter 16, Bhagavan Shri Krishna starts out very strong by looking at Arjuna and specifically stating, Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri 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 Krishna Bhagavan Uvacha Abhayam Sattva Samsudhir Jnana Yogya Vyavastiti Dhanam Damastha Yajnascha Swadhyayastapa Arjavam Ahimsa Satyam Akrodhas Yagha Santir Apahisunam Daya Bhuti Salulutvam Maradhavum Hirachapalam Tejakshama Triti Saucham Antro Natima Mita Bhavanti Sampadam Naivim Abhijatasya Bharata Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Krishna Sharanam Mama. In the first 3 verses of chapter 16, Bhagavan Shri Krishna decides to discuss with Arjuna those who have a divine nature. Bhagavan Shri Krishna starts off by saying fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault-finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men and godly women endowed with divine nature. So he's listing off a good number of things, devotees, a good number of things that tell us who somebody with divine nature is. I could go through all of them again. I'm going to pick and choose a few that I know I'm terrible at, So let me start off with self-control. Self-control talks about how we control our own senses, how we control what we look at, what we smell, what we taste, what we touch, what comes out of our mouth, how we control our mind, how we control the physical and the metaphysical. This is going to make everybody really hungry. I promise you. My worst needs for self-control revolve around food. They always have, they always will. I'm trying to do better in terms of how I control myself around food. Right? I'll sit down and I'll have a crib. Yesterday, I took the dog on a walk. I have a new puppy. Her name is Bella. So Bella and I decided to go for a walk around the park. We drove to the park. We walked around for a good 45 minutes. On the way home, I was like, I'm feeling a little snacky. My wife was out. She was getting dinner with some friends. I was home alone. So of course I'm going to be mischievous, right? I had to stop at the store and buy a bag of Chex Mix because I really wanted Chex Mix. Now, the question here is, I had already eaten dinner. I just went for a walk, burned off some of those calories. Did I really need that Chex Mix? Did I really need to waste my money, those $2-3 to buy that bag? I absolutely did not. But I personally didn't have the control to stop myself from doing that. It's somebody who acts with simplicity. Somebody who acts with simplicity. I've talked about this all the time. Whenever I'm setting up for virtual service, I've got to make sure that the mics are right, the camera's right, the cords are right, the cable's right, the lighting's right. If not, it bugs me. It bugs me. Why can't I just be simple about it? Why can't I just turn my iPhone on, go on to YouTube Live, and just record something or preach something or have something live? Because I honestly am not that simple. I honestly make things more complicated than they need to be. And it's true. Freedom from anger. That's a hard one. And I can say that with full intent of every time I get in the car, I am not necessarily free from anger. I will suck my teeth at least 2 to 3 times every car ride. Doesn't matter how short or long the car ride is. Oh, that person. That person. That fool that's driving. Looking through some of these. Freedom from envy and from the passion for honor. I still derive a sense of honor from some of the good things I do in this world. But sometimes I'm also envious of how other people do things. I was listening to a number of bhajans and a number of pundits speak this week. I was driving, had some podcasts on, I had some other things going on in the background, and I'm just envious of how well these people sing, or how well these people talk, or how well these people do the things that they do. So, to call myself, personally, a godly person endowed with divine nature is not true. And I urge you, devotees, to go through this list. We're in chapter 16, verses 1, 2, and 3. Go through that list. Read through every single one of those things and say, which one of these things am I not really that good at? Am I not knowledgeable? Do I not know how to perform sacrifice? Am I not good in self-control? Is my charity just me donating to get a tax break and not actually being charitable? Right? Am I free from anger? Am I truthful? Am I non-violent? Can I forgive others? Remember, forgiveness doesn't mean that you get angry at somebody, then you forgive them later. It means in that moment, you have enough compassion in your heart to forgive them for whatever is happening. And you live your life and you continue to move on. Go through that list, read through and say, am I a divine person? If I'm truly a divine person, I can read through every single one of these and say that I am just like this. Be critical. And if you need somebody else to be critical for you, ask a loved one. I guarantee you a loved one will say, yeah, you don't know how to renounce things. That's not you. Don't lie to yourself. So first 3 verses 1, 2, and 3, Bhagavan Shri Krishna goes on and tells Arjuna, these are the divine natures. This is the nature and the qualities of somebody who's divine, an endowed person with divine natures. But then he has to go on, because remember, this chapter is not just about the divine, it's about those who are also demonic. Those who are demonic. Bhagavan Shri Krishna goes on to say even further to Arjuna, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, 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 Brahmo Darpo Bhimanascha, Grodha Parusyameva Cha, Ajnanam Cha Bhijatasya, Parta Sampadham Asurim, Daivi Sampad Vimukasya, Nibandhaya Surimata, Masucha Sampadam Dhaivim, Abhijato Si Pandava, Dhaubhuta Sarangao Lokesmin, Daiva Asura Evacha, Daiva Vistara Samprukta, Asuram Paratame Srunu, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Bhagavan Shri Krishna now goes on to say those of demonic natures, devotees. In verse 4, he starts off by saying, those who have pride, who are arrogant, who are conceited, who have anger, harshness, and ignorance. These qualities belong to those of demonic nature, O son of Preta. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demonic qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, you were born with the divine qualities. So, pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. Each one of these is something that belongs to somebody who is demonic in nature. We all have pride in something that we do every single time. I'm the best at playing soccer. I'm the best at music. I'm the best at video recording. I'm the best at specific kinds of art. I'm the best at preaching. I'm the best at doing puja. I'm the best at cleaning. I'm the best at doing this. I'm the best at doing that. Those are all statements of pride. Guess what? No one really cares if you're the best at doing it. If you're the best at doing it, then just do it without having to brag about it. Right? That's somebody who has too much pride. You know what I can do, you know what I've done, you know what I continue to do. That's pride. Arrogance. Arrogance is seeing bad things going on around you. Arrogance is knowing that you are better than everybody else. Arrogance is knowing that your education means you can tell everybody what to do. Conceit and anger. The ways we treat people. How we lose control of our mind and senses. Do you know that when somebody has a heart problem, they have to go to the cardiologist? And what does the cardiologist do if they can't diagnose at that time? They put you on a Holter monitor. And what happens when you're on that Holter monitor? It records your blood pressure, records your EKG, records your heart rate 24/7. And then you have to write a diary down composing what happens during the day and what causes a spike. I guarantee you most of the time it's something stressful. It's something we get angry at. It's something that we get worried about. Harshness of devotees. Harshness is how we talk to people, how we do things. Let's look at it from this perspective. You're maintaining your garden and you have a pepper plant. I only say pepper plant because my parents have like 700 of them. It's more like 5. But if you're going to move that pepper plant from one area to the other, what's the best way to do it? What's the best way to do it? Is it to grab it by the bottom, rip that plant out, and then just shove it down in a hole wherever you find fit? No. When you're moving a plant, you have to take the harshness out of it, because if you put harshness into moving that plant, what's going to happen to that plant? I guarantee you that plant is either going to die, or it's going to wilt, or it won't produce as good fruits as it had before, or peppers. To remove that plant and put it somewhere else, you carefully have to remove the soil around the base. You have to carefully make sure that you are removing the roots and not breaking them. Brush any excess dirt off if you need to. You take that plant to its new area where a hole is already made. You place that plant in the hole and you lightly cover it with soil. You pat that soil down and then you provide some water to pack the soil, and maybe you can put some more soil on top. So that way the plant has food and nutrients to grow. But if you what's going to happen to the plant? It's going to falter. It's going to die. So if that's how we're supposed to treat plants, devotees, why would we treat humans any differently? If you're going to give somebody constructive criticism, it doesn't have to be harsh. It doesn't have to be mean. It doesn't have to be rude. You don't have to go up to someone and say, you know how you did that thing? Yeah, don't do it that way again. It was terrible. It was dumb. It was awful. There's so many other ways to approach that. If you don't like something somebody else does, instead of being harsh about it, just say, hey, I have some feedback about something that you just did, and I don't want you to take this the wrong way, and I'm not trying to be a know-it-all about it, and this is just my personal opinion. But I feel like if you did it this way, it would be a little bit different, maybe a little bit better, but that opinion's up to you, right? You don't have to be harsh about everything. How you talk to people. Ignorance. Ignorance means you see something going on and you choose to do nothing about it. You see that somebody's getting hurt and you choose to put your head down and walk away. You see that somebody's doing something wrong and you choose to clam up because you don't want to cause controversy. You see that the world is falling into turmoil and your immediate response is to close yourself up in your home and do nothing about it. Don't be ignorant towards these things in the world, devotees. I went through each one of these because Bhagwan Shri Krishna only gave us a few. Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. Those are demonic qualities. He said, don't worry about you. Don't worry about yourself, Arjuna. You were born with divine qualities. And then in verse 6, he goes and says, O son of Prata, in this world, there are two kinds of created beings. One is called the divine, and the other is demonic. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities, but now hear from me the demonic. He's going to go into detail, more detail about the demonic qualities. Bhagwan Shri Krishna goes on further to tell Arjuna that somebody who is demonic has these specific traits. O Arjuna, listen to these traits and hear what I have to say. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Pravrittim Cha Nivrittim Cha, Janana Vidhu Ansura, Now Saucham Napi Charo, Na Satyam Te Suvidyate, Asatyam Apratistam Te, Janghar Ahur Aniswaram, Aparaspara Sambhuvatam, Kim Anyat Kamahaitukam, Itam Dristam Avastham Hya, Nastatmano Lapam Budhaya, Prabhavam Tya Ugra Paraman, Tasya jangato hita kamam asritya duspuram dhamma mana madhanvita mohan kritva sangrahan pravartante suchirata Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Bhagavan Shri Krishna says here, these traits of those who are demonic in nature. First off, Arjuna, those who are demonic do not know what it is to be done and what is not to be done. They are neither clean, nor proper behavior, nor truth. None of these things are found in them. So it's someone who doesn't know what needs to be done, nor what does not need to be done. It's someone who is ignorant of all of the things around them. It's someone who is not clean. Cleanliness is not just physical cleanliness, devotees. It's spiritual cleanliness as well. Don't treat your body like a graveyard. Treat your body like a temple. It's someone who is proper in behavior, or someone who is not proper in behavior, and someone who doesn't have truth. These things are not found in them. They say that the world is unreal, with no foundation, no God in control. They say it is produced of desire and has no cause other than lust. So this world that we live in isn't real. And there is no God in control. There is no foundation. There's nothing that's created this world, and therefore there's no morals to exist upon, to abide by. This world is produced of desire, meaning that we're only here to eat food, to drink liquor, to drink our drinks, to be lustful towards all of those things that bring us, I would say, physical happiness. Following such conclusions, O Arjuna, the demonic, who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence, engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. Taking shelter of insatiable lust and absorbed in the conceited pride and false prestige, the demonic, thus illusioned, are always sworn to unclean work, attracted by the impermanent. Now going back to verse 9. They follow conclusions. Following these conclusions, those who are demonic are lost themselves and they have no intelligence. They engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. Money leads to power, devotees. That is true in the world that we live in. And power corrupts those that it grabs hold of. Someone who is demonic in nature engages in unbeneficial, horrible works. What do you hear from time to time at the corporate level of an organization? What do you hear from time to time? What's our bottom line? What's our bottom line? Our bottom line is to make as much money as possible to make our shareholders happy. So in this case, devotees, what are we doing to make our shareholders happy, to maximize our profit? Do you think we're riding in the lines? Do you think we're following everything morally, ethically? Do you think we're going the straight and narrow? Of course not. People cut corners all the time. A chemical company will produce amazing things for us to have, like our cell phones, our computers, our bags. But what happens when you process chemicals? When you process, usually good and also bad come out. And what does that bad do to the world? It pollutes it, it destroys it. Someone who is demonic destroys the world. Because at the end of the day, even though they consider themselves to be doing good, they're not doing the right kind of good for the right kind of reasons. They're not doing the right kind of good for the right kind of reasons. You are engaging in horrible, unbeneficial work. Intelligent people understand that our ultimate goal in this life is to attain what? It's to attain moksha, to become one with Bhagwan. But in order to do that, devotees, we have to do good in this world, but we also have to renounce. We have to renounce the results of our actions. That doesn't mean we do bad all the time. That just means that whatever we do, we accept what happens after. But we don't destroy the world. We're absorbed, demonic people are absorbed in conceit of pride and false prestige. They're illusion. And so because of that illusion, they're sworn to unclean work because they're attracted by the impermanent. What is money, devotees? Again, money leads to power. That's my analogy for today. What is money? Money is a physical object, right? Money is a physical object. And we talked about that our soul moves from one life to the next. Is that big bank account going with you? That physical bank account? No. Is that bright shiny ring going to go with you to the next life? No. Is your iPhone, your Android, your cell phone, is your tablet, your lights going with you? Is your home going with you into the next world? No. That doesn't mean, when I say home, that doesn't mean you don't maintain and take care of your home. Remember, one who is divine in nature is clean. Keeps a clean and orderly home. Keeps a clean and orderly life. So ask yourself, devotees, am I filled with conceit of pride? Am I filled with false prestige? Am I illusion and am I doing unclean work? Am I so attracted to the impermanent that I can't focus on what I truly need to do, which is attain moksha? Of course, Bhagavan Shri Krishna has to go on because you can't just describe the demonic in just a few words. He goes on to tell Arjuna further that those who are demonic in nature, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, 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 Chintam Arpamyam Cha Pralayantam Upasrita Kamo Bhoga Parama Etavar Itinis Chita Asa Pasa Satir Balha Kama Prodha Parayana Ihate Kama Bhogaratam Anya Jnenarta Sanchayan Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Bhagavan Shri Krishna goes on to tell Arjuna a little further that those who are demonic nature believe that the prime necessity of human civilization is something that we'll discuss next week during our regular Sunday morning satsang. Prem se Bolo Krishna Chandra Bhagwana ki jai. Devotees, as always, as we conclude our puja for today, I ask that you join together with me as you go ahead and clasp your hands and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, relax your back, your shoulders, relax your spine, your neck, relax your head. Take some time, devotees, to focus on a form of Bhagwan that's most pleasing to you, one that helps you focus, and join together with me as we chant these closing prayers. Om Sarvesham Swasti Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shanti Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Om Sarve Sukhino Bhavantu, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukhabham Bhavet, Om Mantrahinam Kriyahinam Bhaktinam Janardanam, Etya Pujatam Maya Deva Paripurnam Dharaswame, Papo Ham Papo Karma Ham Papo Atma Papo Sambhuatra Himam Pundarikaksham Sarva Papo Haro Hari. Om Tvameva Matascha Pita Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityuma Mritam Yamaya. Hari Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Shanti Antariksham Shanti Prithvi Shanti Rapa Shanti Oshadheya Shanti Vanaspati Shanti Vishwadeva Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvam Shanti Shanti Reva Shanti Sama Shanti Redhi Hari Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. प्रेम से बोलो गणेश भगवान की जय, प्रेम से बोलो आदि शक्ति दुर्गा माता की जय, प्रेम से बोलो नवग्रह देवता की जय, प्रेम से बोलो विष्णु भगवान की जय, प्रेम से बोलो शिव शंकर भगवान की जय, प्रेम से बोलो शिव शक्ति मंदिर की जय, प्रेम से बोलो सनातन धर्म की जय. Devotees, with this, we have come to the end of our Sunday morning satsang, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being here today, for joining us as we are back again live for virtual Sunday satsangs. I do apologize, devotees, for the pre-recorded services that we had. It's been a crazy few weeks. We've been doing a lot of traveling, a lot of moving around. But to those who are in chat and watching live, I know at least I see Gita, Jai Sita Ram, Gita to you and your family, and to Auntie Rita, Jai Sita Ram to you and your family as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. For those of you who are also watching live, and for those that I didn't get to say this to at the very beginning of service, Ram Ram. I want to thank you all again for your continued support as we continue on to do our virtual services. I have gotten questions as to Panditji, when will we be going back and doing services in person? And honestly, devotees, I don't have a good answer for you at this time. I honestly do not, and the reason I do not is because I'm still trying to ascertain the situation based off what I'm seeing in the hospital, but also based off the guidance of my leadership within the hospital that I work for. We're taking it one day at a time, actually I should say 1 week at a time, and just making sure that everything is good, calm, and safe before we bring everybody back to the mandir. The last thing I would want to do is be unintelligible, right, with the situation, and to put more people at risk than I do at I just don't want to put more people at risk, essentially, is what's going on here. So as we have more updates, devotees, on kind of what we're going to be doing in regards to our mandir schedule, I will continue to let you know as things progress, as things go on. Some announcements that we want to make from behalf of our executive board. We have some birthdays to celebrate. I know personally in my family, I'd like to wish a very happy birthday to my Estapua, to my Rishi Dada, to my Chachi, my godmother, to Auntie Ro, and to Devika, my cousin as well. Happy birthday to all of you. To our Mandir family, we like to wish a very happy birthday to both Tim and to Steve, Uncle Steve Patrick. Happy birthday to you both. Auntie Rupa, happy birthday to you as well. Auntie Dato, happy birthday. And to Sister Shani, happy birthday to you as well. We also had a few members in the community celebrate anniversaries. So first off, to Sister Shireen and Brother Ramesh, happy anniversary to you both. And to my god brother and my god sister-in-law, my god Bauji, I think we'll say God Bauji. Happy second anniversary to you both. To Sasha and Vishal, happy anniversary to you both as well. Devotees, with that being said, I hope that all of you had wonderful birthdays, had very wonderful anniversaries. You all stay safe out there this week. We just dealt with a bunch of rain. I'm looking at the forecast now, and it's supposed to be pretty sunny all week with the exception of the weekend coming up. But I hope that you all stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe out there. Continue to check in on one another, support one another, give each other a call. Give somebody some words of encouragement. But most importantly, devotees, be a divine person. Make somebody smile this week. Make people happy this week. Don't fall into ignorance. Don't fall into anger. Be filled with love. Be filled with happiness. And you all have a fantastic and wonderful week. Thank you again for your support. Thank you again for tuning in. And we'll see you all next Sunday for our regular Sunday morning satsang. Jai Sita Ram, everybody.